Today we're going to review by covering a study guide that covers distributive property, one-step and two-step equations. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the first problem. In problem 1, it says solve the equation. This is a one-step equation. We have k plus 3 equals 10. Since we're adding 3 to k in the original equation, we want to do the opposite and subtract 3 on both sides. You may still draw this line down from the equal sign, separating the left side from the right side. Positive 3 minus 3 is 0. Bring down your k and the equal sign. 10 subtract 3, of course, is 7. Make sure you're always checking your answer by replacing your answer in for the variable. So we have 7 plus 3. That is in fact 10, so we know we have the correct answer. In the second problem, this is also a one-step equation, and we are dividing the x by 7, so we're going to do the opposite, which would be to multiply by 7. So these over here cancel because they have a common factor of 1, so that leaves us with our 1x, and 6 times 7 is 42. You can go back and substitute 42 in for x just to make sure that it does work, and 42 divided by 7 is in fact 6. Problem 3 says solve the following equation. This is a two-step equation, so it will take us 2 steps to solve it. Here's our variable x. We are subtracting 3 from it, so we're going to do the complete opposite and add 3 on both sides. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0. Bring down what's left. 6x is equal to 9 plus 3 is 12. So now we have 6x is equal to 12. This is multiplication. To undo that, we're going to divide by 6 on both sides. 6 divided by 6 is 1x, and 12 divided by 6 is a positive 2. Once again, you can go back in and substitute the 2 in for x to ensure that it is correct. 6 times 2 is 12, subtract 3 is in fact 9, so we know we're correct. Problem 4 is also a two-step equation. Let's start by undoing the addition and subtracting 5 on both sides. So we get 4x is equal to 33, subtract 5 is 28. Then we're dividing both sides by 4, and it looks like x is equal to 7. Once again, you can go back and substitute your 7 this time in for x to make sure that you have the correct answer. And it appears that we do, because 28 plus 5 is equal to 33. In problem 5, this is also a two-step equation. We're going to start by subtracting 6 on both sides. We end up with y divided by 12 is equal to 8 subtract 6 is 2. Since we're dividing y by 12, we need to undo that and multiply both sides by 12. We end up with y is equal to 24. Again, if you go back and replace the 24 for y, 24 divided by 12 is 2, plus 6 is equal to 8. Problem 6 is also a two-step equation, so let's start by adding 5 to both sides. We end up with 8x is equal to 48, and then divide both sides by 8, x is equal to 6. Again, if you replace your 6 in for your x and check it, 8 times 6 is 48, subtract 5 is definitely 43. Moving on to problem 7. Now this is going to be a multi-step equation. Just because we have one extra step here, we need to first start by distributing the negative 5 to x and 2. So negative 5 times x is negative 5x, keeping that addition sign. Negative 5 times 2 is equal to a negative 10, and that of course is equal to 20. Now we're going to do the opposite of a negative 10, and that would be adding 10 on both sides. Negative 10 plus 10 is 0. We're left with negative 5x is equal to 20 plus 10 is 30. And we need to undo this multiplication by dividing by negative 5. Negative 5 divided by negative 5 is 1x, and 30 divided by negative 5 is a negative 6. Again, on these problems, please make sure you go back and plug it in. So if we do that, If we substitute -6 in for x, we will have the following equation. And if we go ahead and follow the steps, -6 plus 2 is a -4. -4 times -5 is in fact equal to 20. So we did come up with our correct answer of -6. In problem 8, which operation do you need to solve this one-step equation? Well, we have -7 times x, so we want to undo that by dividing. So my dividing must be actually over here as a choice, so I'm actually just going to write it in and circle it. Question number 9. Which operations do you need to solve 2x plus 4 is equal to 22? This is a two-step equation. So the first thing we would do would be to subtract 4 on both sides. So we first need to subtract. And then after we're done subtracting, we will have 2x is equal to, if we do this math right here, we would have 18. So we would have to divide by 2. So I'm going to put divide next. Finally, use the distributive property to solve the equation. That means we are distributing this 4 to both numbers in parentheses. So I have 36 here on the left side. I have 4 times r, which is 4r, keeping the addition sign. That same 4 times 3.2 is going to be a positive 12.8. Again, if you want to use your calculator, you may. From here, we're going to subtract 12.8 on both sides. A positive 12.8 subtract 12.8 is 0. Now keep in mind that when you're subtracting decimals, you have to add this decimal here and a 0, or you may use your calculator. 36 subtract 12.8 is 23.2, and that is equal to our 4r. If we divide both sides by 4, r is going to be equal to 5.8. Okay, there's your study guide. Please make sure you review all these problems before our quiz on Wednesday.